It is 7 a.m. in Gaza, where the temporary ceasefire has just come into effect. We are currently going to bring you some live shots of Gaza. Now, within the last half an hour, we have seen a massive explosion here. The expectation is that the fighting between Israel and Hamas will stop for a 4-day period. During this time, at least 50 Israeli hostages captured by Hamas will be released in exchange for 150 Palestinian prisoners. Now, as I just mentioned, we saw recently a rocket blast, an explosion being launched into the Gaza territory. Now, here's what we know about this latest situation. A temporary ceasefire was agreed to, which has just come into effect. An agreement that has involved Hamas, Israel, Qatar, Egypt and the US, is for the release of 50 hostages from inside Gaza who were taken there by Hamas militants on October 7, when they came across the border and killed 1,400 people as well. Now, that is in exchange for the release of 150 Palestinian prisoners, and borders will open to allow substantial amounts of aid and fuel to enter Gaza. Now, right now on the live picture there, it seems to be all quiet. You can see the devastation that has occurred. 13 Israeli women and children are the first to be released into Israel at 1 a.m. our time on Saturday. That's another live shot for you. Now, that is around 4 p.m. Friday local time in Gaza. The names of those hostages set to be freed at that time have been conveyed to families. The media has been asked not to release the list until the hostages are back in Israel. This is a fragile deal, and it is not in writing. This is a verbal guarantee from Hamas to Qatar and Israel to the US. Now, 2 hours after the 13 hostages are confirmed to be in Israel, Israel will release 39, mainly teenage Palestinian prisoners from Israeli jails. Now, the temporary truce can be extended by 24 hours for every extra 10 hostages which Hamas releases. The first 50 hostages will be released over the next 4 days in stages. Now, you can see on that live shot there is some smoke, perhaps from a fire, perhaps from a previous explosion. But right now, the ceasefire should be in effect. And this latest conflict started on October 7, roughly 7 weeks ago, when Hamas militants entered Israel. But the conflict and the fighting has been going on for decades, and this region has been soaked in conflict for hundreds of years.